Good afternoon and welcome to this meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Huntington on May 6th, 2024. We'll call the meeting to order beginning with a roll call.
Mayor Strick,
Present.
Daniel Albertson,
Present.
Megan Bonbrake,
Present.
Anthony Lesnickia.
Present.
Thank you. Having established a quorum for conducting business, we'll move along to consideration of the minutes from the previous meeting of April 15th. Is there a motion to bring the minutes to the floor for consideration and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the minutes as submitted? Not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of adopting the minutes as submitted. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving along to consideration under old business, we have a change order number 2 for Memorial Park Raceway Project. Is there a motion to bring this to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Director Keplinger.
Yes, before I get into the details of the change order, just want to update you all on the funding for the project. So as most of you will recall, the original project contract amount was $495,000, that being split between $60,000 from the DNR and $435,000 from the city. We've been able to go back to DNR twice now to secure additional funds. One, to level out the match, and then two, DNR had a community that they'd previously awarded funding to that was unable to complete their project, and so they know that we're always ready, willing, and able to accept funding. So now the breakdown, and then again, change order, you'll recall that. So the new total contract price is $565,000 with $115,000 from DNR and $450,000 from the city. And so with that, you can see on the screen pictures from last week. This is the last section. Essentially, they're working on from the pedestrian bridge south to West Park Drive to what we affectionately call the bowl. Before you is change order number 2. It does not involve any dollars. What it involves is a change in the contract allowance time. And so if you are aware, it's been unseasonably wet as of late. And when you're working in a waterway like this, that limits your ability to get things done. And so that, coupled with the fact that we did have change order number 1, which changed the scope of the project a little bit and went from tuck pointing about 95 feet of wall to reconstructing 95 feet of wall. So change order number 2 before you would extend the substantial completion date from May 6, 2024 to May 27th, 2024, and final construction completion date would remain the same at June 3rd, 2024. And so that keeps us well within our requirements for the DNR's grant, and so it is my recommendation that the board approve change order number 4, giving Fetters Construction some additional time, an additional month approximately, to complete this project.
Further discussion by board members or questions for Director Keplinger?
What was the completion date on that again? June
3rd, 2024. That's the final. The substantial completion is May 27th.
Further question or discussion?
Who's actually doing
FCI Construction.
they're
They're masonry. Yeah, they're masonry guys.
doing a really nice job.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like $500,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're reusing every stone, it looks like.
For the most part, I think they've cleaned most of the stone. We did have some salvage stone that was available to them from other projects, like when West Park Drive was redone. So between the stone they're cleaning and the salvage stone, I don't know that they've really had to bring any outside stone in.
Further consideration? Not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of authorizing change order number 2 for the Raceway project. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries and authorizes change order number 2. First item under new business is a special event request for a poker run by Brockhouse. Is there a motion to bring to the floor for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. And do we have event organizers here with us today? Please step forward and state your name and address into the microphone, please.
My name is Lori Rice. My address is 6335 North, 200 East, Huntington, Indiana.
Okay, thank you. And just go ahead and share with the board a little bit about the event and the request before the board today.
Okay. Well, my name's Lori, as I said. I'm a board member of the Huntington County Humane Society. My friend Rachel Brockhouse is part owner of Brockhouse Bar and Grill, and we are coordinating a poker run for Saturday, May 18th. Registration is from 9 to 11. The run is going to go from 11 to 3, and then wrap up at Brockhouse with a raffle and food from 3 to 6. The local saloon in Roanoke is going to be part of the run, Rustic River in Mount Etna, and Kermit's in Andrews. Yeah, that's about the extent of it.
Okay, and are there any road closures involved with this?
No, sir. It's going to start at Brockhouse, go to the saloon, to Rustic River, to Kermit's, back to Brockhouse. I have someone who is a leader. He is a bartender at Brockhouse. He's going to run the route this week. I just got the okay from Rustic River today that they wanted to be a part of the run, so we'll be doing that this week with Jared. I don't know exactly how long the run is.
And with the event request being circulated, department heads, any concerns or items?
We had one concern, just the police department just wanted to know about escorts, because they don't do that anymore, but I don't know if you needed that or if you.
We do not need that at all. Again, I have a leader for the poker run. He's a bike rider from Brockhouse. He's going to kind of be, keeping everyone corralled. He has a friend, James Show, is also going to be help leading the race. I have a DD lined up too. Again, it is to bars and people drink. I want everyone to be safe. I also did write up a liability form as well. That includes the Humane Shelter, Brockhouse, and all of the stops, that we're not responsible for accidents. This is, a shelter benefit, so it's right at your own risk.
Great. Further questions or discussion by board members? And that was Saturday, May 18th again?
Saturday, May 18th.
What was the time?
9 to 6.
All right. Okay, not hearing any further questions or discussion, we'll call the question in favor of approval of the request. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you,
Thank you.
and good luck with the event. Next special event request we have is a baby fair on behalf of WIC. Is there a motion to open discussion and consideration of the event?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Do we have
Okay.
any representatives regarding the event today?
No.
Christie, if you could fill us in?
Okay, Casey Miller is part of the WIC office, and she had appointments for new moms and people that need help there, so she wasn't able to attend. Just the gist of it, it sounds like they're going to have vendors come into their WIC office, which their WIC office is now located next to Ness Brothers on the North Jefferson Mall. And I guess PHH or Parkview is providing diapers, and she didn't really know the extent of it. Originally, she thought they needed to do a special event, but in talking to her, they just need a couple parking spots to park a van, and she won't have the representative from Parkview down until tomorrow, and the event is for next Friday from 9 to noon on the 17th. So I told her I would bring it to your attention, and if you had any issues with it, we would just let her know. But she didn't know if they should set up at Rotary Park at a couple spots or park in front of the WIC office in a couple spots. And so that's what they're going to determine tomorrow when the representative comes down, because I don't know how big the van is. And then also, I told her to talk with the neighbors, because that's what you usually tell them. So, yeah, she was going to talk to Ness Brothers. Ness Brothers owns leases several of the parking spots at Rotary, if they would have a problem with them parking right out front for the few hours that Friday. And I told her then, once they determine if that would work and we're okay with it, then they would get like cones that would say no parking order or from the street. So that was just it's kind of up in the air until tomorrow, but then I just wanted to see if you guys had any other suggestions for her that I didn't already,
Where's their
ask.
building? They're gonna be in the storefront? And then
Yes.
they're just gonna have the van out front?
Correct.
As a part of the,
yeah,
and they wanna make sure that they get the space in front of,
right, just a couple spots there, just to park sideways instead of in, because I even said, well, I don't know how big the van is, or are they able to park just in the parking spot with the, maybe the back of the van up to
I'm
the
sure they
sidewalk?
want the 2 spaces because they're gonna be distributing them to people,
People walking up to the van and,
Right, I think that
probably
was
like a
the
safe side
idea.
to the van or something.
well, I imagine being in front of the storefront would be easier for the folks. I mean, if they have information and access and things inside of the building, they would probably want to be in front of the building so they could go in and have, rather than, I mean, Rotary Park's not, it's, I mean, there, but I
Around the
mean,
corner there, but right. I
but
think
being right in
would
front of
be
the building
easier
would probably
too.
be more ideal, so they could go right into it, so,
Yeah. Friday,
yeah.
from 9 to noon. Yeah, I figured it was very,
I think if it passes, everyone else's.
I mean, it's not like we
was
don't
it
do
this
other events
Friday?
downtown
No,
if it's
next,
a
the
couple hours.
17th.
The 17th.
which of course it's in between board meetings, and then she couldn't make it today, and she actually didn't even know for sure. So I can just send an email out once,
I'll be honest, I didn't even realize the WIC office had moved there yet, so I
So-
feel like it's good.
yeah. Well, and like Adam had suggested, I mean, it's just like when the contractors are doing work and you need to park, have a
Their
couple
lift or
spots.
whatever.
I think it's good exposure for them as well, right in front of the office. Like I said, I didn't even realize it had moved there, so.
I hadn't either.
I know,
didn't
so I
even
feel
know
like
where
it's
they
good for
were.
them to be in front of, to show their space, so.
Correct.
So the request is for, to allow extra parking for 2 spots,
Yeah.
9 to 12
Like
on
block
Friday the
off 2
17th.
spots. Correct. That's the request.
Okay. Any further questions or discussion by board members? Not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of approval. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a request for the Harveys regarding 308 North Jefferson Street, needing parking spaces in a city lot blocked off for installing a new roof on the building. Is there a motion to bring to the floor for discussion and consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, and so I see Dave with us here today. Go ahead and state your name and address for the record and tell us a little bit about the work you're planning.
Dave Harvey, address is 4920 North, 464 West, here in Huntington. Just as you stated, we're going to put a new roof on 308 North Jefferson Street. If you look, I passed out a packet with some pictures. The alley side of it is covered with power lines, so there's no way we can get a lift up there. So what we're requesting is we prefer the spots toward the back of the building because it's easier to get materials up over those walls. And I don't really think it's going to take the full 3 days, but we requested 3 days just to be safe. Timeline is at the end of June, early July. Can't get that scheduled to the exact date due to manpower and weather, but.
And so you'll have you're requesting 6 parking spots?
6 spots. I don't think we're gonna need a roll-off dumpster in this case because we're taking some skylights out of the roof and we're gonna go flat over. So that's really what we're pulling off the roof and then we're gonna do a layover on top of that. So, I think I can get away with a dump trailer, but more the telehandler and being able to get materials up there is the concern.
And then Christie, you had mentioned that those spots were formerly rented by LaFontaine residents who've been using their private lot now.
Correct. So we do have some of those spots. I think some of them are the courthouse employees now instead of an annex. And then I think we've rented a few others for like Nick's Kitchen they would walk down the alley
Sure.
for the employees. So we would just notify them, you know, if there's a dumpster there, you know, if there's no place to park, we'll just let the ordinance officer know and the people that are in that lot. I do think we have a few open spots as
Okay.
well, so it shouldn't be full.
I think the main thing would be once you get the dates locked in to let us know so we can communicate
Sure.
with folks.
Yep. Okay.
Further discussion, consideration by board members, questions for Mr. Harvey on the work?
Is there other roof work to be done as far as like removing materials that will be coming off the side?
The only, like I said, there are two, there's a skylight and another box on the top, and we're gonna level those off, so that it just simplifies the roof. So it won't be a lot, there will be some materials coming down, but it won't be like a whole roof coming down.
I didn't know if we needed more spots than just equipment spots in case there's flying debris.
Yeah, I think we'll be safe with those 6 spots, because part of it is for the, and if we can keep it to the back of the building, there's some landscaping there to the back as well, and you don't see a lot of foot traffic right there, so there's no sidewalk in between those parking spots.
Further questions or discussion? Not hearing any this time, we'll call the question in favor of the request. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, thanks. Dave, when you do get those dates locked in, just let Christy and her team know, and we'll be able to circulate that information then. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Board of Works Resolution 2024-6. Is there a motion to bring to the floor for consideration and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Christy?
Board of Works Resolution 2024-6, the Board of Public Works and Safety of City of Huntington, Indiana, in meeting duly assembled and after considering information deemed by it to be sufficient, finds whereas City of Huntington owns, maintains, and operates public parks, some of which include ponds, and City Code Section 99.08 generally prohibits swimming or otherwise entering city park ponds. However, City Code Section 99.14 provides that reasonable exceptions may be made by the board by the adoption of a resolution. And whereas Michael Daly of Holly, Michigan has requested that the board issue such an exception to allow him to enter the ponds at Memorial Park for the limited purpose of retrieving golf discs, and the board finds that such an exception should be granted. And then now therefore be it resolved by the board that Michael Daly may enter the city pond located in the Memorial Park for the express and limited purposes of retrieving golf discs. Prior to entering any city pond, Michael Daly shall sign and return the attached and incorporated release of waiver of liability, assumption of risk, and indemnity agreement. And then this exception terminates 60 days from the execution of the attached release unless earlier terminated by the city. I have sent Michael Daly the release by email and a copy of the resolution that Attorney Harburg did. So I haven't heard back, but I know he had mentioned he wasn't probably coming until June. And
Further discussion by board members? Okay. With that, then, we'll call the question in favor of approval and authorization of Resolution 2024-6. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Board of Works Resolution 2024-7. Is there a motion to bring to the floor for consideration and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Christy?
yes, Resolution 2024-7, the resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Huntington, Indiana, relating to the disposition of certain items of personal property. The Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Huntington, Indiana, in meeting duly assembled after considering information deemed by it to be sufficient, finds. Whereas, from time to time and in accordance with Indiana law, the city will dispose of personal property that is in surplus and no longer needed. Whereas the city street and police department has personal property equipment that is in surplus and no longer needed, specifically a rotary 12,000 lift, estimated value 2,000, a 37 assorted bicycles, estimated $100, lot of 14 Sarah wireless routers, estimated $1,500, and $6,500 gallon storage tank, estimated value 100. And whereas it was advantageous in the past to become, and because it is already approved by the state of Indiana, the street and police departments are again requesting to use govdeals.com auction website to sell its personal property. And now therefore be it resolved by this board as follows: all property listed herein is surplus property and no longer needed by the city, and the use of govdeals.com auction website is approved for the sale of the listed police and street items. Be it further resolved that the mayor or his appointee has the authority to sign such or to do such things and sign such documents as necessary to implement the resolution. And the resolution is effective immediately upon approval.
Further discussion or questions by board members? Okay, not hearing any at this time, then we'll call the question in favor of approval of Resolution 2024-7. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. And next item on the agenda is opening bids for 2024 street and alley paving. Is there a motion to authorize the opening of bids?
So moved.
Motion and second. Director Cutress.
Yes, thank you. It's the time of year again where we're getting ready to do our annual street and alley paving. This year, we're looking at approximately 13 different streets and around 11 different portions of alleys, totaling around 5 miles of street and alley paving. The city has applied for and was awarded community crossings matching grant funds to pay for 50% of the cost of the streets we're looking to pave. So today we are opening bids on that street and alley paving package. At this point, I have received 2 bids. The first one being from Brooks Construction. The total bid from Brooks Construction is $972,280. The second bid I received is from E&B Paving. The bid from E&B Paving is for $872,162. It would be, at this time, it would be my recommendation that the board take these under advisement. We will review the bids to ensure that all of the documents have been provided and report back with an award recommendation at the next meeting.
Is there a motion to take the bids under advisement?
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the recommendation? Not hearing any this time, we'll call the question in favor of taking the bids under consideration. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is moving along under orders of enforcement with 2 status updates today. First is regarding 323 Hannah Street. Is there a motion to open discussion and consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Commissioner Paul?
Yes, the owner is Tabitha Broche, 323 Hannah Street. That order of enforcement was issued on September 15th, 2023. At the time, there were 13 unsafe violations, 11 minimum housing violations with 12 corrective measures for compliance. Happy to report that there on April 23rd. they had completed all the corrective measures for compliance at that time. My recommendation would be to release the order of enforcement at this time.
We do have property owners with us here today. Thank you for your work on this. We appreciate it. Is there anything you'd like to share with the board? Okay. Board members, further discussion or consideration of the recommendation to release the order? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to release the order of enforcement due to the completion of all the requirements therein.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of releasing the order of enforcement. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Next status update is regarding 1610 College Avenue. Is there a motion to open discussion and consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Commissioner Paul?
Yes, the owner is Damon Kaler, 1610 College Avenue. That order of enforcement was issued on October 11th, 2023. At the time, there were 4 unsafe violations, 5 minimum housing violations, and 9 corrective measures for compliance. And that inspection was done from the exterior only. We've not had access to the interior. I've not had, did stop and took these pictures today. I stopped there one other time after I think they've repaired the back wall. There, I did stop and look at that prior to it being covered up, but I've not had any inspections on the interior or had any communications with them in regards to the corrective measures for compliance. Looks like there's 8 corrective measures for compliance, and just the 2 I looked at was the grass and everything outside. 2 have been completed.
And we do have Mr. Kaler here with us. If you want to go ahead and remind us of your address for the record, please, Mr. Kaler.
Yeah, 1303 North, 200 West, Huntington, Indiana.
All right, thanks for being here today with us. If you could just go ahead and update the board on the progress you've been making, especially on the interior.
Yeah, so the back wall has been repaired, as you can see. We've also got all the siding completed as well. And then on the interior, we can get that checked out as soon as next week. Drywall work is
Okay, questions by board members?
Is this the same, the stucco house that we saw in the beginning?
Correct.
Wow. Okay. So I'm clearly not a contractor. The nails prove that. So I know we had some very large cracks and things in the house. Do we just fill that and then put some siding over it? I mean, is there a,
Yeah,
that would be my concern, like, do we, I don't know.
yeah, we repaired the spot is really bad there, as you can see.
Yeah.
And mortar and all that. And,
Okay.
and Shoemaker Construction came by and did a professional job on the
Okay.
siding and all that. So yeah, it's,
Just want to make sure everything's done like, you know,
Yeah.
well, and not just like, we're just going to put some
Yep.
siding on that
yep,
and just, you know,
yep. Yep, all that was
yeah.
taken down and repaired.
I just happened to stop by there the one day and looked at it,
Oh, okay.
from the
Okay.
exterior.
That was my concern, because I'm like, this is the same house? And you still have not yet to see the inside, correct? Okay. And that's something we discussed in the last meet, yes? Was setting something up to see the inside? Okay.
Yeah, I think the point is, had he not stopped by, we'd be taking
We
the
would
siding back
still-
off to
Yeah,
evaluate what's going on. We probably needed some more communication.
yeah.
I think that was gonna be my question, is did you see all of it? Practice.
Because that's why I'm
I just
shocked
seen the
here.
finished repairs. I have no idea,
On every crack that you want,
basically just that.
so you did see the wall before,
That section, yes, yes,
not all of it?
right, and not the,
Normally you wanna see all of it?
like to see the inside. We've yet to get on the inside.
Yeah,
Is
so
there-
I think the main thing for the board's consideration today is just making sure that Commissioner Paul is able to get through, do the inspections on the interior, get a written timeline and update, because I think originally we were hoping to have all the work done by today's meeting and be able to complete final report. Is that right?
That was what? Yes.
Yeah.
I believe Damon stated that during the
Yep.
April meeting that they would have it all done by today.
How many measures were there originally, I'm sorry? How many corrective measures were there?
9,
And how many have been completed, as far as you know?
2. One of the corrective measures was to do an interior inspection to know if there was any other violations on the inside.
Okay.
Not yet been able to get inside to do that inspection.
Okay. So, Mr. Kaler, if we granted a 30-day extension today, can you get scheduled with Commissioner Paul to get him in there for the inspections?
Yeah.
All right. And then as part of that also, just the written timeline for closing out the job, and getting the work done.
Can you just repeat that?
If you could also, Jen, supply a written timeline for how long it'll take to finalize all the work and get done.
For complete renovation of the inside, probably, just as far as like paint, like you having paint, all that basic stuff, like purely cosmetic work, we probably have done in a month or 2 or something like that. Between
Okay.
then.
So if you can go ahead and schedule Paul for the inspection before you leave today, and then when he's there for the inspection, if you can give him in writing your work plan and your timeline for that.
Yeah.
For closing out the corrective measures.
Okay.
And everything under the order of enforcement. That way he's got that and taken care of, and we can have a substantial update at the next meeting. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
With that then, is there a motion to modify the order and grant an extension of 30 days?
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration of the motion to modify? Okay, not hearing any, we'll call the question in favor of a 30-day extension. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Not aware of any miscellaneous items for the good of the order, then we'll move along to consideration of accounts payable. Is there a motion to authorize payment of the bills incurred by the city of Huntington?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Further discussion and consideration? Not hearing any, we'll call the motion in favor of approval of paying the bills incurred by the city of Huntington. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Thank you. With that, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
What were all, do you have the list of all the enforcements that were on there? I don't have an extra list. Yeah, we can just do the next, what do you have available for next week? I'm basically just, I'm working on something else.
Okay.